What would you do if the world as you know it collapsed in a matter of minutes? How does an entire nation face devastation and despair? On September 11, 2001, New York City witnessed one of the most shocking events in modern history. Amid the confusion and chaos, thousands of people ran for their lives. But among them, there were also those who ran toward the disaster, risking everything to rescue others. BRETAGNE was one of those heroes. She was a golden retriever with a noble gaze and an unbreakable heart. Trained for rescue, her instinct and determination made her one of the first to respond to the call. At just 2 years old, alongside her handler, Denise Corliss, she entered Ground Zero. There, among the smoldering rubble, she began her mission, to find life in the midst of tragedy. The Twin Towers had collapsed just hours before. Dust covered everything, and the air was thick with the scent of metal, concrete, and despair. Rescuers, coated in ash, worked tirelessly. The sun barely filtered through the dense cloud of debris, creating a surreal, almost ghostly atmosphere. But in the midst of that hell, BRETAGNE moved forward with steady determination. Her training not only allowed her to search for victims beneath the wreckage, but also to provide comfort to those who needed it most. As the hours and days passed, she became a beacon of hope for rescuers and volunteers who found in her presence a reason to keep going. Denise, her handler, watched BRETAGNE with admiration. Every time the dog gave a signal, hope was rekindled. Although the number of bodies found outnumbered the survivors, BRETAGNE's work had a profound impact. She helped bring answers to families desperate for news of their loved ones. The days were grueling. For days on end, BRETAGNE and her team searched tirelessly. They moved through the remnants of what had once been offices, cafes, and bustling hallways. The heat was unbearable, the air barely breathable, but the golden retriever never wavered. She knew her work was vital. With each passing day, BRETAGNE won the hearts of everyone around her, not just for her skill and bravery, but for the way she approached the rescuers, offering them a brief moment of comfort amid the pain. Many of them, their faces etched with sorrow and exhaustion, found solace in her soft fur. On one occasion, an exhausted firefighter sat down among the rubble, and BRETAGNE approached him, resting her head on his legs. It was a simple gesture, but a powerful one. Without words, the dog reminded him that he was not alone. Tears rolled down the man's soot-covered face, and for a moment, the weight of the tragedy felt just a little lighter. BRETAGNE wasn't just searching for bodies. She was searching for broken hearts, mending them with her mere presence. On that September 11th, and in the days that followed, she proved that bravery comes in many forms. Sometimes hope arrives on 4 legs, with a heart willing to heal the world's pain. And so began BRETAGNE's story at Ground Zero. But her legacy was only just beginning. As the days went on, the work of BRETAGNE and her team became even more critical. Rescuers raced against time, knowing that every minute mattered in the search for survivors. Hope was slowly fading, but BRETAGNE's presence kept the determination alive for those who could not afford to give up. On September 14th, 3 days after the attack, BRETAGNE and Denise were assigned to a new section of rubble. There were signs of possible air pockets within the collapsed structures, places where someone might still be trapped. The golden retriever, her keen sense of smell guiding her, began searching with tireless energy. The rescue team watched BRETAGNE's every move intently. When she suddenly stopped and began to bark, everyone held their breath. Denise rushed to her side, interpreting her partner's signal. Quickly, the workers began removing debris, hopeful for what might be beneath. After what felt like an eternity, a faint sound broke the silence. A human moan. Hands worked frantically, pushing aside concrete and metal. And then a voice whispered, "Hello." It was a miracle. Against all odds, a man had survived beneath tons of rubble. When they finally pulled him out, his eyes met Bretane's. "Good girl," he whispered gratefully. In that moment, Bretane's mission took on a new meaning. She wasn't just a symbol of hope. She was a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, the light of bravery and compassion could find its way through. As the days passed, the intensity of the search began to fade. The chances of finding survivors grew slimmer, yet BRETAGNE and her team refused to give up. The golden retriever pressed on, tireless, guided by her nose and her unwavering desire to help. Denise could see the exhaustion in her partner. BRETAGNE was worn out, but she never stopped. Their bond went beyond words, and Denise knew that the dog wouldn't allow herself to rest as long as there was even the smallest chance of finding someone alive. On one of their final days at Ground Zero, BRETAGNE and Denise came across a group of firefighters who had been working tirelessly for days. Their faces bore the weight of pain and exhaustion. As if she understood their sorrow, BRETAGNE approached them and lay down beside them. One of the firefighters ran his hand over her fur and sighed, allowing himself for the first time in days a brief moment of peace. The dog had become a symbol of resilience and hope. Her presence was a reminder that even in the darkest moments, kindness and solidarity could shine through. And though her work at Ground Zero was coming to an end, her story and impact would live on in the memories of those she had helped. As BRETAGNE and her team left Ground Zero, there was a sense of duty fulfilled, but also a lingering void. Her role had been crucial, not only in the search for survivors, but also in providing emotional support to the rescuers. As the city struggled to recover, BRETAGNE's presence remained etched in the memories of those who had shared those harrowing days with her. Returning home was not easy. Denise noticed BRETAGNE's exhaustion, the weight of the mission reflected in her slower steps and in her eyes, which, though still bright, carried the imprint of all they had witnessed. For both of them, it had been a life-changing experience, an undeniable before and after. BRETAGNE became an ambassador for the work of search and rescue dogs. She participated in events, demonstrations, and talks where Denise shared her story, highlighting the vital role these noble animals play in disaster situations. With her gentle nature, BRETAGNE won the hearts of everyone she met, from children to seasoned emergency responders. As the years passed, BRETAGNE continued her service, taking part in rescue missions after hurricanes and other tragedies. Her experience at Ground Zero had made her an expert, and her instinct for finding survivors had become even sharper. Every time she put on her rescue harness, her energy and commitment seemed to be renewed. However, time spares no one. BRETAGNE grew older, and with age came the inevitable physical challenges. Denise, who had shared so many moments of dedication and sacrifice with her, began to notice her decreasing stamina during missions. The dog, who had once tirelessly searched through Ground Zero, now preferred shorter walks and long naps in the sun. The time for her retirement arrived, and while it marked a significant change in their lives, Denise knew that BRETAGNE had more than earned her rest. She prepared a comfortable space for her at home, giving her all the love and care she deserved. But even in retirement, BRETAGNE continued to touch lives. She visited hospitals, schools, and community centers, bringing comfort and hope with her mere presence. In 2016, BRETAGNE finally passed away. Her farewell was a tribute befitting a hero. With a guard of honor formed by firefighters and rescuers, the dog who had given so much to humanity was bid farewell with the same nobility with which she had lived. Her final moments were filled with love, gratitude, and recognition. Her legacy lives on. Her story continues to inspire new generations of rescuers and search dog trainers. Her bravery and dedication stand as a testament to the profound bond between humans and animals, a relationship that in the darkest moments can be the light we need to keep moving forward. Though BRETANE was no longer physically present, her impact endured, leaving a lasting imprint on many lives. After her passing, numerous rescue organizations began honoring her memory, highlighting the crucial role that dogs play in search and rescue operations. Denise, her heart filled with memories, decided to channel her love for BRETANE into a project that would ensure her story was never forgotten. A rescue dog training program was established in BRETANE's honor. This program not only focused on technical training, but also emphasized strengthening the emotional connection between dogs and their handlers. It recognized that beyond their physical abilities, these animals provided invaluable emotional support to those facing tragedy and disaster. Social media and news outlets began spreading BRETANE's story even further. Documentaries, interviews, and tributes were created in her honor, drawing more people into the world of canine search and rescue. Every account of her journey served as a reminder that beyond the devastation she had witnessed at Ground Zero, BRETANE embodied love, hope, and resilience in its purest form. In Texas, where she had spent most of her life, a monument featuring her image was erected in the local park where she had trained. Every year, on the anniversary of September 11th, rescuers and families gathered there to honor her heroism and that of all the dogs who had worked tirelessly during the tragedy. It wasn't just a statue, it was a symbol of recognition for all those silent heroes. For Denise, sharing BRETANE's story became a way to heal. She traveled across the country giving talks on the importance of search and rescue dogs. In every presentation, she showed images of BRETANE in action, capturing the essence of her nobility and bravery. Her message remained the same. These animals do more than find bodies or trapped individuals. They heal hearts. Some of the new dogs trained under BRETANE's program were deployed around the world, responding to natural disasters such as earthquakes, hurricanes, and wildfires. Each one carried the essence of what BRETANE had represented. It was as if her spirit continued to guide every rescue team, reminding them of the importance of their mission. As the years passed, her story remained alive. In schools, children learned about her legacy, and many dreamed of one day working with rescue dogs. What began as the story of a golden retriever and her handler during a tragic moment in history became a movement that promoted the bond between humans and animals in the service of saving lives. BRETANE's life was a reminder that heroism does not always come in human form. Her story taught that love and dedication can transcend time and space. Every time a rescue dog is deployed to a disaster zone, every time a firefighter or rescuer finds comfort in the presence of their canine partner, BRETANE lives on. Time moved forward, but the memory of BRETANE never faded. Her name remained etched in the collective memory of those who had witnessed her bravery, but also in the hearts of those who understood her true message. Greatness is not measured by heroic acts alone, but by the ability to give love and comfort, even in the darkest moments. Denise, now with silver strands threading through her hair, often found peace sitting in the park where they had once trained together. She would close her eyes, and for a moment she could feel the breeze brushing against her face, almost as if BRETANE were there, wagging her tail with excitement. She knew that her companion had never truly left. Her spirit lived on in every rescue dog that walked the earth with the same determination she had. Every year, on the anniversary of September 11th, a group of rescuers gathered to honor those who were no longer there. Amid speeches and tributes, there was always a moment of silence, followed by a round of applause dedicated to the dogs who, without expecting anything in return, had given their lives in service to others. Among them, BRETANE remained the most mentioned name, a lasting reminder of the very best that humanity and its four-legged companions have to offer. The new generations of trainers grew up with Bretane's story as their inspiration. Children who watched documentaries about her dreamed of training rescue dogs, of providing the same support that Bretane had given to so many. In every step taken, in every paw print left on the earth, in every mission carried out with unwavering dedication, Bretane lived on. The day Denise visited the monument dedicated to her faithful companion for the last time, she felt an immense peace. It wasn't sadness that filled her heart, but gratitude. She knelt down, ran her hand over the cold stone with Bretane's image etched into it, and smiled. "You did well, girl," she whispered, feeling that somewhere in the universe, her golden retriever was wagging her tail with joy. That night, the stars shone brighter, as if they knew that a story of love and bravery had left an indelible mark on humanity. Bretane was no longer physically present, but her essence, her legacy, and her spirit would never fade. She had not just been a rescue dog, she had been a symbol of hope. And in every corner of the world, in every grateful gaze toward a search dog, in every embrace between a rescuer and their canine partner, Bretane lived on. Because heroes never die. They simply find new ways to guide those who follow in their footsteps. And so, we come to the end of another incredible story of courage and heroism. Here on Animal Heroes, we celebrate all those extraordinary beings who, regardless of their species, have demonstrated remarkable bravery. If this story has inspired you, don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing tales. See you in the next adventure, where heroism knows no limits.